You guys, I think WWE and Wrestlemania is now cooked. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me this Saturday evening. And like I said in the quick intro, I think WrestleMania is cooked. It looks to be a pathetic showing by WWE and TKO. And why do I feel that way? Well, if any of us suffered through that complete pile of shit last night on SmackDown, SmackDown was one thing summed up.
That is one big pile of shit.
A big pile of shit indeed. It was an awful show. 3 hours again, remember. I almost feel embarrassed showing this on my channel, but then again, it is WWE and TKO. It's their fault, not mine. This is the historically low cage match ratings on SmackDown last night. That is really, really, really bad at the time of this recording. 0.33. Not even 1 out of 10. This may be the worst Road to WrestleMania SmackDown in history. It was that fucking bad. It had no good matches. It had one of the worst, absolute worst turns in storyline for WrestleMania history, which I'll get to that in just a minute. But look at that. Again, a 3-hour show. Not a single match longer than 12 minutes. Most of them under 10. Rhea Ripley defeats Michin. I forget how to pronounce her fucking name. I don't give a shit. It was bad. Rhea Ripley cut too much weight. She couldn't even hit a razor's edge without the assist of the top rope. It looked pitiful. Uncle Howdy and Tama Tonga, awful match. Afterwards, this MFT bullshit that I think is one of the most boring things in WWE needs to end. Should have ended half a year ago. What is with WWE and this kink? It feels like, honestly, a kink of having these storylines where shit is stolen. It dates all the way back to when Drew McIntyre and CM Punk had their overrated feud. I think that was an overrated feud, personally, over a fucking bracelet. You saw Roman Reigns get his shoes stolen in a storyline. Now we have the lantern being used in a storyline that was stolen by MFT. It's stupid. It's awful PG writing, but it's all they fucking have. Honestly, Road Dogg was let go last month. He may not have been the problem. WWE writing is so abysmally bad. It is so shit that Road Dogg looks like the fucking savior of writing for them right now, because this SmackDown and SmackDown from I think last week or 2 weeks ago was so damn bad, and that's after Road Dogg was let go. So honestly, my apologies to you, Road Dogg. Come back. At least SmackDown was not absolute ass to watch. We got to get into the Pat McAfee segment now. Whack McAfee showed up, and he, of all fucking people, was the one that Randy Orton was calling. Oh my God. What? Just when you think WWE and TKO can't get any worse, they continue to prove me wrong. And honestly, it makes for good content on my channel, so I thank them for that at least, where I can sit here on a Saturday morning and fucking grill them until they are charred on both sides. Look at this. The segment so far at the time of this recording has over 60,000 dislikes. Nobody wanted this. Nobody. And apparently, I forget his name. I don't give a fuck about his name anyways. Some higher up in TKO made this decision. Triple H gave it the green light, and it was so damn bad. It was received so poorly that it almost feels like at the end of the show, Cody Rhodes comes out and calls out Pat McAfee and the whoever he is from TKO, Ari something, I forget his name. That's besides the point. Cody Rhodes tried his damnest to save this storyline that was honestly the only decent looking main event for WrestleMania, because I don't care at all about Roman versus CM Punk, but honestly, that might be the better one at this point, because this got demolished by the Pat McAfee reveal. Everybody is hating on this. It made me care so much less for the other main event for WrestleMania. I have never, ever, that I can recall, have had less interest for WrestleMania main events than this WrestleMania 42 coming up. The WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship have two of the worst feuds ever for WrestleMania. One of them was because a guy got called old, and the other guy said that he spreads himself in jizz and oil, and that's it? Seriously? For WrestleFucking-Mania? And then now, just more proof as to why WWE is not pro wrestling anymore. It is sports entertainment and celebrities and endorsements and ads with minimal mid-tier wrestling. That's all we're going to get at WrestleMania. The only saving grace for WrestleMania are two matches. Oba versus Brock, as long as Oba wins. And for the first time in a decade, the ladder match for the IC title. That is it. I'm sitting here right now, 12 matches announced for WrestleMania, and I only care about 2 of them. This may go down as the worst WrestleMania in history. Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select showed this right in the penis. I'm going to say pro wrestling fans is Cody Rhodes in this situation, and WWE and TKO's Pat McAfee giving the low blow, because that's how it feels. Honestly, I would rather take a fucking low blow. I would rather get kicked in the nuts by Andre the fucking Giant than have to sit through another SmackDown that bad to watch all of WrestleMania. I ain't watching that shit anymore. I'm sorry, I was going to on this channel. I'm not. I'm going to watch highlights because it ain't worth my time. It ain't worth my money. And now I'm going to show you not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. I think I have over 6, actually, screenshots of awful negative comments. Take a look. So I'm just going to let you guys read these while I talk through them, point out ones that are honestly just laughable because they're true. What is this Triple H button? Nobody liked that. We're sorry, Road Dogg. Come on. It just gets worse from there. Get Triple H away from the entire company. You can see all of these as it's switching to different screens. The script writers must be fired button. We got an AEW comment that a lot of people are liking because it's that bad. Y'all took the title off Drew for this. This is insanely bad. This was the last straw. I'm done with WWE. Hundreds of people liked that one. Travis Scott 2.0. This feud is completely ruined. Give Brock and Oba the main event of night 1. Yes, I agree at this point. This has all the potential to be an all-timer feud. What a waste. I don't even agree with that first part. I didn't even think the feud was that great to begin with. Now it's really bad. No one wants Sammy, Dad Bod. We want Carmelo button. That's going on to the other thing. Sammy beat Carmelo Hayes, so Carmelo Hayes is not involved in WrestleMania. And now, to all of you E-stans that are probably watching this and saying, well, but WWE has so many injuries and they're just trying to figure out what they can do best with what they have. Shut the fuck up. This is who they have that isn't injured, that is not featured at WrestleMania this year so far. Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, Hila, Damian Priest, Gia, Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez, Kairi Sane, El Grande Americano, which I don't give a fuck about that character, but he's not even being featured, Raquel Rodriguez, Rey Fenix, and more. There's probably a list of like 20 more potential wrestlers that should have at least had something at WrestleMania, but they're not. That's a big list. So don't tell me that you don't have the talent to fill up your WrestleMania. You want to know what the problem is? WWE TKO push only the old wrestlers and the same 10 fucking people. That is your problem that I've pointed out for months on this channel. And now for your biggest show of the year, when a few of them are hurt, WWE's backpedaling all over the place, and they realize, fuck, we should have pushed a lot of these younger wrestlers because we would have had our asses saved had we done so. But you didn't. WrestleMania, my friends, is going to be absolute shit. Now, let's get on to some good news for the remainder of this video. Got a couple little AEW things, a couple New Japan things to close out this video on a high note. The Ultimate Troll by Tony Khan, placed at the perfect time, shortly after SmackDown ended. He just goes on to post, AEW is where the best wrestle. Well, that is 1000% true after that shit-ass SmackDown last night. Billy Gunn has announced and revealed that Colton Gunn was cleared this week to return to the ring. So now we are just waiting for Jay White, and then I think eventually we are going to see the Bang Bang Gang feud with the Dogs. I cannot wait for that. I sure hope that that is a feud that we get for All In this summer. And speaking of the Dogs and AEW, and now kind of transitioning over to New Japan, Gabe Kidd kept assaulting Yoda and dragging him to backstage, all while recording this video himself. Kidd says he and AEW are declaring war on New Japan. So this is very interesting. And the much, much better show was the New Japan show from last night. Check this out, the big thing. Callum Newman has achieved a historic upset, defeating Yoda to become the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Newman becomes the youngest champion ever at the age of 23. Just 23 years old, and this kid has such a high ceiling, and he's being treated way better than any 23-year-old kid is over in WWE. The Knockout Bros, Oscar and Ice, defeat Zack Sabre Jr. and Roy in an outstanding IWGP Tag Team Championship defense. List goes on. Takeshita was targeted by some weird masked figure. I know masked storylines are getting a little overdone, but it's New Japan, not WWE, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It was a good show last night. Let me know down below if you watched that, what your favorite match and moments were. And obviously, it was much better than SmackDown. That's all I had on this video on Screw the Script here. Again, to recap, probably the worst SmackDown before WrestleMania in history, or Road to WrestleMania SmackDown ever. I can't recall off the top of my head another SmackDown that was this close to WrestleMania that was that terrible. Let me know down below if you agree. Let me know what you think on the Pat McAfee reveal for the guy that Randy Orton was talking to. What are your thoughts on the Bang Bang Gang being close to full health? How do you feel about Callum Newman being the youngest ever IWGP World Heavyweight Champ? I sure hope at some point in the future we see him in AEW. It is very likely since AEW has a strong partnership with New Japan. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a great Easter. Thanks for watching.